Good morning, students. Today, in our social science class, we are going to continue our second chapter of geography. The name of the chapter is Physical Features of India. Today, we are going to learn about major physical divisions of India. And the first major physical division of India is the Himalayan mountains. The Himalayas, geographically young and structurally fold mountains, stretch over the northern borders of India. These mountain ranges run in a west east direction from the Indus to the Brahmaputra. The Himalayas represent the loftiest and one of the most rugged mountain barriers of the world. Children, hear what they are saying is that these mountain ranges they are running from west to east direction from Indus River to the Brahmaputra River. These Himalayas are loftiest and one of the ruggedest mountain barriers. That means they are very rugged, uneven, and they run from west to east direction. They form an arc which covers a distance of about 2400 kilometers. That means they are saying that it forms a shape of an arc and its distance is 2400 kilometers. Their width varies from 400 kilometers in Kashmir to 150 kilometer in Arunachal Pradesh. That means in the northern part of India, they are very wide, running at least 400 kilometers, and when they reaches Arunachal Pradesh, their width decreases. It is only 150 kilometers. The altitudinal variation are greater in the eastern half than those in the western half. That means their height varies from east to west. Now, these Himalayas they consist of three parallel ranges in its longitudinal extent. The first is the Greater Himalayas, then the Lesser Himalayas and the Shivalik ranges. The Greater or the Inner Himalayas, it is the most continuous range consisting of loftiest peak with an average height of 6000 kilometers. It contains all the prominent Himalayan peaks like Mount Everest, 8848 meters in Nepal, and Kanchenjunga, 8598 meters in Sikkim in India. The folds of Great Himalayas are estimatically in nature. The core of this part of Himalayas is composed of granite. It is perennially snow bounded and a large number of glaciers descend from this range. Children, what they are saying is that in these mountain ranges, two highest peaks of the world are situated, Mount Everest in Nepal and Kanchenjunga in Sikkim. Here, the folds, that means the Himalayas, they are asymmetrical, they are not in symmetry in nature, and it is perennially snow bounded. That means or it is covered with snow all the year round, and a number of glaciers are found here. After that, we have Himachal or Lesser Himalayas. The range are mainly composed of highly compressed and alternate rocks. The altitude varies from 3700 and 4500 meters, and the average width is of 50 meters. While the Pir Panjal range from the longest and the most important range, the Dhola, Dhar and the Mahabharata range are also prominent ones. This range consists of the various valleys of Kashmir, the Kangra and the Kullu Valley in Himachal Pradesh, and this region is well known for its hill station. Children, hear what they are saying, that these Himalayas, the lesser Himalayas, are also called with the name of Himachal, and its altitude, that means its height, is between 3700 to 4500 meters, and its width is 50 kilometers. Pir Panjal ranges here form the longest and the most important ranges of our country, and these regions are also famous for many hill stations. After that, we have the Shivaliks. They extend over a width of 10 to 50 kilometers and have an altitude varying between 900 to 1100 meters. These ranges are composed of unsolidated materials such as mud, silt, and soft rocks, and is prone to earthquake and landslides. Some narrow valleys are found between Shivaliks and Himachal. They are dunes, for example, Dehradun. Children, what here they are saying, that these lowest Shivalik ranges, they are at the height of 900 to 1100 meters, and they are made up of mud, silt, and soft rocks, and many earthquakes and landslides are here. Shivalik and Himachals are the narrow valleys between these mountain ranges, and here Dehradun is a famous example of these Shivalik ranges. After that, we have some highest peaks of the Himalayas: Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, Makalu, Dojring, Naga Parvat, Annapurna, Nanda Devi, Kamet, Napcha Barma, and Kurla Madhnata. These are all the peaks, highest peaks of the Himalayas. After that, we have the northern plains. The northern plains have been formed by the interplay of the three major river systems, namely the Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra, along with their tributaries. That means these three main rivers have formed the northern plain. This plain is formed of alluvial soil. The deposition of alluvial is a vast basin lying at the foothills of the Himalayas over millions of years formed these fertile plains. That means these northern plains are formed by the rich, fertile alluvial beds. It spreads over an area of 7 lakh square kilometer. The plain begins about 2,400 kilometers long and 240 to 320 kilometers broad. Is a densely populated physiographic division which is rich with a rich soil cover combined with adequate water supply and favorable climate. It is agriculturally a very productive part of India. The northern plains broadly is divided into three sections: the Punjab plain, the Ganga plain, and the Brahmaputra plain. First, the Punjab plain. The western part of the northern plain is called the Punjab plain. That means in the western part of our country of the northern plain, it is called Punjab plain because of the Punjab state. It is formed by Indus and its tributaries. That means these plains are made by the Indus River. The large part of this plain lies in Pakistan. The Indus and its tributaries, that means Indus and its tributaries rivers, are the Ravi, and the Chenab. The section of the plain is dominated by Doabs. After that comes the Ganga plain. It extends between Ghagar and Tista river. It extends between Ghagar and Tista river. It is spread over the states of North India, Haryana, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, partly Jharkhand, and West Bengal. After that comes the Brahmaputra plain, that means plains that are formed by the river Brahmaputra. It spreads over the states of North India, Haryana, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, particularly in Assam, lies the Brahmaputra. That means it lies in the east of Ganga plains, particularly in Assam. The northern plains can be divided into four regions. The narrow belt of about 8 to 16 kilometers in width, lying parallel to the slopes of Shivalik, are called Bhabar. The streams and rivers emerge and create a wet, swampy, and marshy region known as Terai. The floodplains of river and present a terrace-like feature is known as bhangar. The soil in this region contains calcareous deposit known as kankar. That means the narrow belt of this is about 8 to 16 kilometers width lying parallel to the slopes of Shivalik ranges, and it is also called as Bhabar. The streams and rivers re-emerges, that means they re-originate and create a wet swampy, that means daldali, and marshy region as a tirtarai. The floodplains of the rivers and present a terrace-like feature is known as bhangar. Here, the soil in this region, it contains calcareous deposit known as kankar. The younger deposit of the flood plains, that is called kankar, they are renewed almost every year and so are fertile, thus ideal for intensive agriculture. Hope you have understood this much. Thank you.